Hello everyone, it's Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo here for another Come Fly With Me, and I've been trying to do this one today and keep getting sidetracked trying to do a little bit more work on my build out of Cobb McCollum Airport. Still worried about the size of the signs. I know they're about right for real life, but in a sim I think they need to be bigger. Yeah, I think they need to be bigger. And I've got all of the markings down, though some of these aircraft are not exactly where they should be. Markings are indeed down. Yep, all the markings on the north side. Now, nothing really has markings over here right now because this whole part of the airport is under construction with the apron being actually expanded. That's something that's going to take a little bit of time for me to get together on what the actual plan is. I've looked at a 20-year plan, and by 2035 this airport is going to actually have another 800-foot long span of runway added, and then all these buildings are going to be purchased, and this south apron is going to be expanded all the way down to here with a fire station down there. I do need to find a fix for this. That is something that I should look at in the very near future, because that is actually, of all things... Oh, see, you didn't know that I was going to make you try to tell me what it was. Oh, sorry about that. That is actually, of all things... You're still not getting it, are you? You're supposed to come up with an answer. It is the customer's office that is here. So I keep on looking through different buildings and trying to see what I can get to put in there, and I haven't really figured that out yet. I am looking for a little brown building that would match something that would go there, but I am not yet to find anything that will actually fit in place. There are food marts and other things that look like they can actually work there, but I have not found anything in particular that actually fits the bill. Nonetheless, I'm almost done building the actual... Oh, I think I found something. Let me drop it, see what it looks like. Then I could load it in here and ask you guys what you think. Nope, that ain't going to do it. See that? You think you find something, and then it turns out to be nothing at all. And that's what I find with a lot of the objects that they give you to put in here. There are quite a number of things that could work, but they won't work. I'll do that on my own time, though, and not your time. For the time being, though, it is, well, it's a new day. There's a sale. Yes, there's a Steam sale. Yes, you should have bought X-Plane already. But there's a 4th of July sale in the org store. And the org store would be xplane.org or x-plane.org. And that's where I get most of my aircraft. And I am pretty happy about the one I'm about ready to show you. It is the Cirrus SR20. And it will be right in this general direction. Right there. See it? That's it. I got to get X-Camera working so I can get those little fly-ins and all sorts of wonderful pieces of cinematic wonder. The Cirrus has been around for a while, at least since 2015. This is the base skin, and I'm using it so I keep on saying VFlyteAir. These guys, especially Mario, have worked hard on this aircraft to bring it to us in X-Plane. Now, it's not an exact simulation of the SR20. It's an approximate, and there's a couple of reasons for that. They want it to be a G1000, but of course Laminar Research has not added the G1000 into the game yet, so they had to go and they had to be creative and innovative in the way that they showed off the PFD, which is over here on the left, and the MFD, which is over here on the right, and the other instruments that are inside of the aircraft. Also, there's other limitations, like on the bus, the electric bus. There's 3 in a Cirrus, and there's only 2 modeled in the game. So there's a lot of things that are going not to be exact, but nonetheless, this aircraft is really fun to fly. Now, it's windy today, and I don't want wind, so I'm going to come up into my plugins. I'm going to go into not X-Economy, X-Enviro. I'm going to try to turn off the winds. See if that works. And then we're going to get this baby started up, and I'll show you a surefire way to get that done. Turn on the first two. Battery 1, battery 2, turn on avionics. You get your avionics up. Click that button over there. Click your checklist. Go next, and here you are. This is how you start up the aircraft. Now we'll talk about this for just 1 second. This is an LUA script. It's $15 on the org store right now in the sale. It is called XP Realistic, and it does a great job at adding layers of immersion into aircraft that don't have them out of the box. This one's missing head movement prediction, shaking, buffeting, and noises while taxiing. It's missing the air noise that you hear in the background right now. It's really windy outside, so it's trying to mimic that. It's 15 different immersions, and they're preset for all the different aircraft, and all you have to do is just pick it. It'll go through and decide what it has to pick up. You can change the sound of the different sound effects right here, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to knock that off for right now, and we're going to start this up in 1 second. One thing I do want to point out is that this is the Beta 1 edition for X-Plane 11. And what that means is it's been retextured and updated to work with the X-Plane 11 systems. And that's pretty awesome because this aircraft looks amazing. Yes, it does. It looks amazing. It has been totally updated. I'm not sure if the flight model has been updated. I am almost certain it flies very similar to the one I was flying all day yesterday. Yes, I just bought it, and then this morning the patch arrived and I installed it, and well, I've been flying this thing all day, literally all day, trying to get enough information on this video. One of the reasons that I started flying it all day was because, lo and behold, I go to stall it and it doesn't stall. I'm expecting a wing to go down. I'm expecting a stall to happen like a Piper, and it didn't happen. And I'm probably going to put that information up over here because I do have it in another video, and then we'll just fly this around the pattern, or maybe we'll take it up to VPC, which is the other airport that I've built out. But this wing is made very this wing is made with safety in mind. We're going to start off with that. First off, holes in the leading edge and whatever else they do with it prevent icing. The second thing is, because of the way the wing is shaped and the way the wing is built, this inside area, you see where this notch is? This inside area is going to stall before the outside area. You see how the cord, I think that's the cord. I think that's the cord, not the camber, but the cord of the wing is shorter here than here. So as you're stalling the aircraft, the inside of the wing is going to stall first. And it's going to start buffeting, and the outside of the wing is going to still be receiving airflow. And if you look at where the ailerons are on the outside of the wing, you see me moving them. I know it's hard to see me moving them, but you can see it now. They are going to still be able to maintain control of the aircraft. Now, the aircraft does have a slight tendency to go into an uncontrollable spin at the worst, in the worst stall that you can do, power on stall and not correcting your rudder. So it's equipped with a ballistic parachute that fires out the top and safely, gently helps the Cirrus to the ground. But because of the way the Cirrus SR20 is built, it's fast, it's agile, it's safe, and it's efficient. So let's take a look at the startup procedure. We don't have external power. We do have a parking brake, and we're going to set it right there. Parking brake is set. Busmaster switches are on. We have volts. We're draining the volts pretty bad right now, so we got to hurry up. They want you to turn on the strobe lights before anything else, so the strobes go on. So gyro. Okay. That is check. Mixture is going to go to full. Rich power lever is going to go to full. Those are those two. Okay, good. You're going to clear the propeller area. Well, first we're going to put the fuel pump on. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000. Then put boost on. Then you clear. Then you clear the propeller area. Clear. All right, we got clear. Notch it back to 1/4. And then start her up. And she starts nice. There you go. I don't know what the hell that was, but I did not even have 1/4 of an inch in. Oh boy, I probably still have the throttle on the 16,000, the T16,000. Yes, I do. That one was all the way up. Alright, that was my fault, but that would not happen for real if you owned this. That was just because I had 2 throttles, both set, corrected now. Alright, so we got that running. We go up to 1,000, so we're going to break this down a little bit. And then we're going to check the oil pressure, which we're looking at already. Oil pressure is right here. It's the oil temperature. This is the bus, so we have to get the 2 alternators on. Vacuum. I don't know which one of these the vacuum is. I guess it's somewhere else, and I'll have to take a look at some of the other pieces to get that. I'm setting this to pattern elevation. Nope, that's not working. That device isn't working. You see that? Not working. And this is 1040 as a field elevation. We'll just check that. Okay, the switches are on. Avionics master is on. Engine parameters are good. External power if applicable. Amp meter is now back. You see it right here? Battery amps. Good. Alright, next page. Flaps up. I already put them up. Cabin heat, fuel selector is set. Okay. Alrighty, let's get this thing moving. All I want to do is just take her out for a little bit today, give you an idea, get this up as quickly as I can for those of you that want to get a cool looking aircraft that just got an update that will be fun to fly. I know I do a lot of GA aircraft at this point. A lot of GA aircraft, and I do apologize for that. But it is because I want to fly. I want to fly in this game the way I would fly in real life. Getting used to doing the procedures in something small like this, moving up to something bigger like the Quest Kodiak I have, and possibly a Twin Otter or an EM-110, and then move up from there. But I really like flying low and slow because I think it's a beautiful thing. I love the way the world looks from down on the ground, and I love looking at the clouds and flying around and being in control. So I do have a new set of rudder pedals. I do have the SATEC, well, they're not SATEC anymore, they're Logitech Flight System rudder pedals. That's what they're calling them, so that's what we'll call them. They still came in a SATEC box, most likely because Amazon still had those. But I purchased those because I just wanted to I wanted to have a set of rudder pedals that were actually much better. Alright, we've got that set. This whole board is starting to move underneath here. Alright, so we've got some kind of battle with wind out here in my real home, not in the game. I spent a lot of time QAing this airport. It is ready, but I've already uploaded a couple of different versions to the Scenery Gateway. I wanted to take a lot of time to make sure everything was corrected before I put up another version. I've got so much done on it now, I think I'm going to put it up and resubmit. I just don't want to put up something that's good enough. I want to put up something that makes sense. Something that you would want to fly into. So if you guys want to come and see my airport, it will be up inside of the Scenery Gateway. I think it's scenerygateway.x-plane.com, or it might just be gateway.x-plane.com. Alright, so this is the boring part of the day, but it does give you an idea of how she handles, and she does handle very well. Now, like I said, this is supposed to be a depiction of the G1000, but in actuality, these two displays are proprietary. They're set up for the Cirrus specifically, and they're not generic G1000 displays. They're actually much more guided towards a Cirrus pilot than these two are, but at least these give you a basic belief that you're in the real aircraft. Now this little curve over here is actually a hill, a dip. This is where the runway dips a little bit. At the end of it we have B5. We're going down to B6. Pappy lights are coming up on our left. I didn't know how to turn that pavement area that the Pappy lights sit on right there into a shack and some lights. This over here, oh wow, that was weird. This over here is a ILS hold, and I don't have it set up as an ILS hold right now. It will be by the time it gets uploaded, but I'm not putting it in the system as an ILS hold, because then you'd be sitting there for an hour, because ATC is actually horrendous in this game. I know that Austin said he was rewriting it. I can't wait for him to get that done. I don't have an aversion to flying with real ATC. I just really want to get good at flying again before I start having to work radios. Alright, so when we come over here, there's actually a road that keeps going in that direction. But what we're going to do is we're just going to come over here, move towards the road, and we're going to spin it around. And we're going to let other people go past us like this. And what we're going to do is just hold up, and I'm going to do a run up in just a few seconds. First things first, we bring up the checklist. And now, ooh, look at that. I could bring up the pop-up checklist. So we go to before. Everything is latched. Cap's handle. Cap's handle is pin is removed. Seatbelt, shoulder harnesses. I'm not even in my seat, but my seatbelt and shoulder harness is done. Confirm and fullest tank. So we've been on this. Make sure the boost pump is on when you do this. So we just moved to the fullest tank, and we definitely have fuel. Alright, so we want to put that there. Okay, we want to move this one out of the way for a second. We want to turn on the transponder, which is right over here. Transponder is on. Okay, that's good. Autopilot, we got to check a couple of things. Actually, I think you could go away for just a few seconds because the autopilot needs a couple of things done first. So the first thing is I'm going to click on heading, and then I'm going to click down to 270 degrees. And I'm going to turn on the flight director. Autopilot on, off. Then I'm going to go into indicated airspeed mode and lift it up to 97. Perfect. Alright, so all that is done. Now what? Cabin heat defrost, we don't need it. Navigational radio's done. Brakes, they're on. Power to 1700. Moving. Okay, power to 1700, that's close enough. Pitot heat, I think that's right here. Pitot heat. Tiny bit of a drop. Okay, pitted heat. Navigation lights are on. Landing light is on. Annunciator lights, don't know where they are. Checking the ammeters. Okay, Alt 1. We have a drop. It comes back up. That's good. Alt 2. We have a drop. It comes back up. That's good. Both are working. Alright, next thing is going to be pitted heat. Everything is off. Needle remains within. Yes, they do. Next page, landing lights. We have check ignition. Ignition switch. We have a drop. Comes back up. We have a drop in the left one. And it comes back up. Okay, that's good. Vacuum. I keep looking for vacuum. Not 100% sure where it is. I thought I saw it over here. No, I wouldn't see it over there. I saw it on here. Oh, I know where I saw it. Let's get rid of this. And let's go to the engine. And I think I saw it here. Do I have suction on here somewhere? No, I don't. Do I have it down there? God, where did I see it? Yeah, this just isn't fair. Okay, I thought I saw it somewhere. The fuel calculation is, it's a little bit more exact than the actual Cirrus has, but that's pretty cool. Look at that, it even tells you density air. Okay, that's pretty cool. Alright, I say we are done with this. Engine. Checklist. Engine parameters are still check. Come back. Flight controls. Okie dokie. Autopilot deactivate. We did. Okay, and we are good to go. Let's roll. And this aircraft is beautiful, but unlike the Cessnas that I've flown, she has a tendency to want to stay on the pavement, so you have to tear her off the pavement. And there is documentation for her that comes with her, but none of the... I can't remember if it had any of the speeds. And I don't know if you could actually use a real Cirrus manual on the sim for those, but you can try. And all of those shaking and everything is straight out of XP Realistic. Okay, and this is where we start to lift up above 79. And we're up. And let's get to 85. 85 knots. We will raise the flaps. Raising the flaps. Cool. Now let's get ourselves into a position of being over. Right about there. And now theoretically you can go in here and turn the autopilot on and go to heading mode, indicated airspeed mode. And I'm going to go out at 105 today. And she is nice and easy. She is being thrown around by the wind. If you look outside my window right now, there's tons of wind out there. 1830 was the altitude I had selected. I should... go up to 2500. And they want you to always use the vertical speed as a last resort. So always use vertical speed as a last resort. In other words, don't use it. Use the indicated airspeed. The main reason is if you continue to try to climb with vertical speed, eventually you'll hit a time when the aircraft runs out of energy and stalls. Whereas if you set indicated airspeed, it'll always try to maintain that airspeed, and that might mean having to fly straight and level, which is better than stalling. Alright, let's get this off. Let's take a look at her bouncing around. She is pretty. She's very pretty. I love pretty aircraft. Look at that rudder. Everything just looks so nice on this aircraft. Alright, so we're inside. I'm going to back off to about 50. Because I don't want to go that fast. And also it's a little choppy out here, so we want to get well within the maneuvering speeds. The safe maneuvering speeds. At this point I'm going to turn towards the north. We'll do that with the heading indicator over here. And I'll be going towards VPC. Which is going to be just a little bit less of a turn. That should put me right to the other airport I've been building out. So you saw Cobb McCollum, and I have one line that I have to finish. I just left it because I didn't know if I should leave it on the tarmac or not, because there really aren't ILS holds in the game right now. I'm sure there is if you're flying with Pilot Edge, but it's not really affecting anything in the game because we're not dealing with real metal. So I don't know if they would simulate that. We're flying over orthophoto. Most of it is at detail level 17. The approach patterns around the airports in this area are at detail level 18. And the airports themselves are at detail level 19. I guess you could replace the word detail level, those two words, with the word zoom, well, with the word zoom level. These two airports are extremely close together, so it's not going to be that long of a trip. In fact, right out there should be the airport. There it is. You see it? Right there. So we want to come a little bit more to the left of that airport. So a little bit more to the south. So we're going to head that way. We're also going to set up 2,000 feet as our approach altitude. And we're going to set a speed. We're going to keep the speed 120. It's going to put 127 up there. We're going to pull back on the power lever. Not throttle, but power lever. And the aircraft should start to descend. And then it will intercept that altitude and start to fly straight and level, at which point I will add power. We've been flying for a few minutes now. And the pump should be off. So the pump is off, right? You see how one tank is down. So the pump goes on. This comes over, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000. And we can turn it off. Okay? Got to maintain those fuel selector valves. It's not a Cessna with gravity feed, so if you jump into this aircraft and start flying around, make sure that you have excellent organizational skills so you don't run out your gas out of one of your tanks. It would be a travesty if you wound up killing yourself because you forgot to set a timer. when all you have to do is say, "Hey Siri, set a timer for 15 minutes." That's if you have Siri. I'm sure you can say the same thing to Google. Alright, so we are booking at 111. I'm going to back off on the speed now. I'm going to drop a level of flaps. It will keep us and slow us down. I want to stay at 105. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these two off. And I'm going to set us up on an approach and try to get us down with no problem. It might be a little bit too close. We'll make that determination in a few seconds. This, of course, is the other airport that I am doing some work with WED on. And I just wanted the nearest airports to me to have as many landmarks on them, or to look as realistic or approximate as possible. And this airport is important because it's one that I did many touch and goes with a very good pilot. His name was John Daly. He worked for Delta. He was a Czech pilot for them, and he taught me things on the Cessna that I had been flying for, at that point, about 15 years, and he taught me things that I never even knew you could do in the Cessna. Most of them emergency procedures. Man was one of the safest pilots I've ever flown with, and definitely he made the biggest impact on my flying. Realistic flying, that's sim flying. In the sim, I'm a little bit more dangerous because, hey, it's a game. But I am one of the most meticulous pilots that you can get in real life. Alright, just hold it off. That's what you want to do. Just hold it off. Hold it off. Good. And slow it down. Alright, so welcome to VPC. We're just going to do a quick stop here. And I'm just going to give you the grand tour of the place, because it is, again, another airport that I put together. So this over here in the area to our right, which is east, is a new set of hangars that just popped up over here. They are expanding this airport. There was some controversy over it. Something about wetlands being in that direction over there, and an Indian site being in that land. But evidently it didn't stop them from building out the airport, which is pretty good. I like the fact that they're adding a little bit more to the Cartersville-Bartow County Airport. You can see the eclectic design of the airport. There's nothing really solidified here. It's just a bunch of hangars, possibly old ones that started and then new ones that got made. So you have quite a diversity in the different ramps. There's no consolidated ramp, so if you download my scenery, what you'll find is that the ramps themselves look like they're just a hodgepodge of all different shades of asphalt and types of pavement. Concrete, dark pavement, light pavement, bright white pavement, whatever it will be. But this is the second airport I did, so its lines and everything are just ever so slightly better than the ones at Cobb-McCollum or Cobb County International. But, Cobb County International is my home, so that's the one I love the most. Alright, we're just out here, and we're going to take off in just a moment. Over here are the old hangars, and as we come back down the other side, we're going to see where they have Phoenix Aviation. Phoenix Aviation is a group that flies tow aircraft. Yes, I said tow. For target towing. They fly, I believe it's G5s, G6s, G650s, whatever they are. They fly them, and they tow targets for the military, for the Navy, Marines, and Air Force. All three of them had bases here in Georgia at one point. So they get a lot of business doing that. So if you want to fly Gulf Streams and want to fly in a very dangerous mission, go ahead and do that. Get it done. I'm telling you right now, I love my new rudder pedals. Alright, let's add some throttle here. I've got us leaned out a little bit. I did add some static aircraft. I also added a couple of aircraft that will generate or populate this aircraft, this airport, and take off and land every now and then. I had to create a ghost or hidden ATC network for that to happen. But all in all, I'm very happy with the way this one came out. Yep. I just wish they gave a lot better objects to place down. I mean, that's to the extent of it. I mean, the aircraft that populate the airport are all Cessnas, Barons. They're all the stock aircraft. Now you can go and you can do like open scenery and other types of scenery that you could drop into your airport, but then it doesn't appear up on the scenery gateway and it doesn't make it into the game. That's probably something that I will do later on, but I want to make some stuff that go in the game first. Alright. And at some point I'll be able to draw straight lines. Well, not straight lines, better diamonds over there. I've got to figure that one out. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I probably just thought of a way. Yeah, I think I thought of a way. Regardless, it's good enough for government work. And we are not going to go down to the threshold. We don't need to be on the threshold with this aircraft. So we will make our turn onto the runway at, I believe what I call it, Alpha 1. Another couple of new hangars over here, and then an old one. Like I said, an eclectic nightmare over here. I think eventually all this photo scenery underneath here will be replaced with the airport grass. Oh, look at this. You got 2 taxiways right here. Because when I fly my Quest, everyone knows I could land in that little short space. Alright, we are going to go and make our way back home in just a second. I just want to make sure you have enough time to see the Cirrus and watch it actually fly. I think that VFlyteAir did an amazing job on this. And again, this is not a study level aircraft. They didn't make it to be an accurate depiction of a real SR20. They made it to be as close to realistic as they could get with the pieces of the game that were in place at the time. We may see a little bit better implementation of the G1000 after Laminar Research puts out their G1000, but that's still many months away, I believe. I think that comes after the VR, right? I think. Okay, 1 notch of flaps because we follow directions. Alright, we're going to get on runway heading. And we are going to set our course. There we are. Now we're going to set our heading. Bam. We're good to go. Good as gold. Battle against that huge horsepower that's coming into play right here to get this baby moving. She doesn't move very quickly into the air, like I said. You wait until about there, and then you yank her off the air. Yank her off the ground. Then you let the nose settle down for a few minutes, get over 85, lift up the flaps, and then you can go to 97. 97. Get you best. And now it's time to end this review because it's going a lot long, but I wanted to give you my final assessment. And I know I've said this. This isn't a perfect aircraft, but it's definitely worth the money. It's fun to fly, and I had 2 amazing days flying it so far. I've flown from Atlanta, Georgia, down to Macon, Georgia, over to the coast of Georgia, and then down into Orlando and back again. The first day was all with version 2, which was the one that was made for X-Plane 10, and it worked flawlessly. And then today, flying all over the Atlanta area with the beta version for X-Plane 11. This aircraft is hands down one of my favorite, but there is a but here. The but is this is not going to be that perfect aircraft for everyone, and definitely not for the people looking for high fidelity, for that aircraft that they can do procedures in, for that aircraft that they could fly inside of Pilot Edge easily. I know that you could set this up, but there are some things missing from it, and it isn't the fault of the designer at all. Currently, I have to put the fault on Laminar Research for not having a G1000 in the game. Mario did an excellent job with the avionics. They're not perfect. They're not an exact match of the Cirrus, but I'm sure there would have been some kind of a copyright infringement there or IP infringement if he tried to do that. Mario, you did a great job on this. I think this is a great aircraft. So I had 2 amazing days flying it, 2 amazing days getting to know it, and I will tell you this. It's not going to be my most flown aircraft, but it has been over the last 2 days. But it's definitely going to be one that I return to with a smile over and over again. I hope you all watch this review in time to take advantage of the sale. And if you don't, just wait. The sales happen over and over again over on xplane.org, and I think this is going to be a fine aircraft for years to come. If any of you really like the scenery that I've done here at Cobb County International or up at Cartersville Bartow Airport, just look on the Scenery Gateway and download it. Do be aware, though, I am going to be posting updates over the next 2 months for them because, I don't know, I'm the perfectionist. I mean, look, I've put down every single parking line individually to make sure that they line up and that they are perfect. So if you like them, please comment below, download them, have fun with them, and please, please, please come over to twitch.tv/Nikki, NIKKI65, and watch me live streaming. I live stream at least 4 nights a week, being Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and usually between 8:30 and 11. And if you come out there, there'll surely be giveaways in the future. On July 4th, I'll be giving away an Airfoil Labs Cessna 172. And folks, with that said, you all be safe out there, and I will talk to you soon.